called him a lanky piece of shit.
Because he keeps avoiding people. He don't want to. Listen, he said, I'm not dating on anything, but he said he wanted 50 million to fight Wilder. Wilder gave him 50 million. Why didn't he fight him? Then now all of a sudden, because Wilder's fighting Fury, and all of a sudden, he wants to fight Wilder. Before Tyson Fury come back, he said, oh, I want to fight Fury. He's a fat piece of whatever. No, Fury is back. Outbox Wilder. He doesn't want to fight Fury all of a sudden. I worked my way up to number one. You know, I've got nothing.
Podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
ThaBoxingvoice.com. When I say I promise you, I'm gonna knock out the Gypsy King as well.
Deontay Productions.
How am I gonna let this little skinny spaghetti hit my face?
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Yeah, numbers don't lie, and I'm that guy. And I'm the dog of the business.
When I stepped on the scene, I said I wanted this though. I said I wanted that though.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
You know, so I'm still on the mission.
I'm gonna chase his ass all the way up there.
I told him it's an easy fight to make.
Some of them like it, some of them don't. ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and good morning, TBV. We are back with another one. This time, the American-based magazine, Forbes magazine. Every celebrity wants to read themselves in the Forbes list. You know, when you made it to Forbes, you've made it. And we all know that Anthony Joshua has made it. But every day, it seems like we're back talking about a new person, a new entity, a new publication, a new fighter, a new ex-fighter, a new former champion or past champion, present champion, someone continuing to say that Joshua will take a loss. Forbes magazine done a very in-depth article on their top 2019 predictions. One of those predictions was Anthony Joshua. I will say there was about 5 more, which we will most definitely be doing another show on. Another fighter mentioned in that list. Very controversial name right alongside this one, but this one being the biggest. Forbes is stating that Joshua will suffer his first heavyweight loss 2019. According to Forbes magazine, Anthony Joshua will not finish the year as a heavyweight champion, whether it's because of an upset loss to the likes of Dillian Whyte or Jarrell Miller, or because of a defeat at the hands of Deontay Wilder or Tyson Fury. Anthony Joshua will suffer his first professional loss in his career in 2019. Now, the author of this Forbes magazine obviously is putting him at the bottom of all these heavyweights. If he feels that this guy is going to lose to Dillian Whyte or Jarrell Miller, Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, shit, he ain't giving him a shot at nobody but Luis Ortiz is what it looked like. But this is what we're going to be talking about. You can find the article by Googling Forbes and Anthony Joshua. Read alongside with us, talk alongside with us, call in, give us your opinion at the number to call in is 1-425-569-5241. Add Nestor Gibbs on Skype. If you have a smartphone, download the absolutely free Skype application from the iPhone store or the app market on Android and get the Skype app, add Nestor Gibbs on Skype and call internationally. While you're on that app market, go ahead and download the Patreon app to get all the exclusive content. Yesterday, 2 new posts were put out, untitled topics and questions, because we will be having an untitled show today, and Film Study Tuesday. We'll put out our posts on our filler to see what fight you want us to rewatch Tuesday at 1 o'clock. Right here, only on Patreon. Let's get out to my co-hosts from around the globe.
It's me, Mario.
What up? Oh, man, I got this echo. Yeah, man, I'm excited about the show. You're absolutely right, Forbes. You make them. That's where the big boys play. But I just don't understand where they're coming from with this. You know what I mean? Like, I understand the heavyweight division is dangerous. I mean, I actually had a list on my phone, and my phone died, of all the heavyweight shocks that we've seen, from the Buster Douglas fights, to the Foreman fights. anybody can get dropped in the heavyweight division. Anybody can lose at any time. It's just the most dangerous division. Fuck that. It's the most dangerous sport in the world, heavyweight boxing. And so he could lose, absolutely. Who's he going to lose to is the question. And I don't know. I just wouldn't even say it's like a definite with the way that his camp has worked to avoid certain fights at certain times. But he has fought some tough competition. So yeah, man, he's definitely not invincible. That's the fact that we're going to get through today.
I speak it, believe it, receive it. Speak it, believe it, receive it. Speak it, believe it, receive it. I can't say it enough. I speak it, believe it.
Windows down, 2 attempts, handed bands over. Sicko hit, shot and miss, 2 to stand over. Turn up. Breadwinner, huh? Look who in the building. Let me check my Instagram. I might be at 1 million.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Yo. Back here with another one. AJ will lose in 2019, says Forbes. I mean, looking at the competition, I would maybe have to agree with Forbes. I mean, I think he loses to Wilder. But he loses to Fury. Big Baby's going to be the tricky one. I think Big Baby is one of those guys that's 300 pounds and comes forward and can box really, really good. Now, Dillian Whyte, I think Dillian Whyte is going to give AJ a run for his money. I think AJ knows it. That's why he doesn't want to really give him a rematch right now, because AJ is pretty smart. He knows he's hearing that Fury and Wilder will be doing a rematch. But the only one that I think he beat, and not because he's not good enough, but just a little bit older, is Ortiz. So we'll break him down, get into it, and see what's going on today. Shout out to everybody out there in TBV land supporting the brand. If you're listening right now, go ahead and smash that thumbs up button. It helps with the visibility of the show. Also, if you want to go a step farther, go over to ThaBoxingvoice.com/affiliate sponsors and hyperlink that Amazon link. Bookmark it, save it, do all your shopping through that link. It costs you absolutely nothing, but we do get a little kickback. Now let's begin the show. I mean, AJ loses in 2019. If you're AJ and you've been hearing all the rumors from Fury, from Wilder, from now Dillian Whyte, saying that you're not necessarily fighting the top level of opponents, and now you're trying to step up in 2019 by facing a guy like, I mean, like who's really out there for AJ to face? Wilder's going to fight Fury. Big Baby is the only one that can maybe make sense. It happens in Madison Square Garden, and I think the Big Baby fight is going to be a lot tougher than what everybody thinks.
I mean, I don't think that we're here to talk about who could he face. I mean, I believe that the author did a perfect job of letting you know who he could face and who he will lose to, in his opinion, this year.
I was just giving the names out just in case the people haven't read the article. That's all.
Remember, he said this is 5 bold predictions. Not everyone's going to love it. I did give the numbers at the top of the names at the top of the show. The author feels that he could likely lose an upset to the likes of Dillian Whyte, Jarrell Miller, Deontay Wilder, or Tyson Fury, which is 4 out of the top 5.
Like, I don't see Anthony Joshua putting himself in a position where, like, okay, if he fights one of those guys at all this year, it's a mainstay fight. It's a huge fight. If he fights at least 2 out of the 5, he's fighter of the year if he wins. You know what I mean? I don't think that any of these guys have the answer for sure. I really don't. The one that I think could beat him is Tyson Fury. That said, it would be very difficult for me to perceive a road where they fight if it's not next. If they don't come in and sweep up that fight, I don't see them fighting this year. I don't think Miller's even going to get his chance. The only one I see really possibly getting his chance, and maybe it's because I'm looking with blinders, is Whyte. And I don't see Whyte beating Joshua. I really don't. I think that he has enough, and obviously we've covered this topic a ton on the show, but he's done enough to get the rematch. I think he's better than he used to be. But Joshua's a force, man, and there's no way that he's going to lose to any one of those guys because I just don't think he's going to fight
I don't know
any of those guys.
Why wouldn't he fight? Dillian?
I think if no, White, yes, but that's what I'm saying. Is could he lose? Like he could lose those other mentioned.
The author mentioned all four, so it doesn't matter what turn he takes. The author believes he could lose to either, to Tyson, to Wilder, Fury, Miller or White. Now, as far as White, I don't know. Maybe White has a point saying that AJ's ducking him. Maybe Michael has a point in saying how good Dillian Whyte has looked. Maybe I'm overlooking, underrating what it was Dillian Whyte has done this year. Maybe AJ is over-assessing what Dillian Whyte has done. AJ's been hurt by that left hook. We watched it happen during their fight. And Dillian since then has developed that left hook to a point where he's knocking people out. He dropped Joseph Parker, something that no one else was able to do, including Mr. 100% knockout ratio Anthony Joshua. So maybe there is some fear.
Look, all I'm going to say is, okay, this is the same author, and I forgot his name, that also is giving Broner a chance against Pacquiao. And I don't want to get into all the other things that he had said, but, come on, like, I don't know how hardcore this guy is, but I'm pretty sure that 90% of our listeners could have written the same, piece for Forbes and probably done a better job.
I think that's a little bit unfair of you to mislead the audience.
The author name is Brian Mazik.
Thank you.
And I reached out to him, all his forms of social media and his YouTube, everything, to try and get him on the show as well. We'll also have a scheduled interview with the trainer of Julian Williams a little later in the program. But I think it's unfair of Mario to say what he's saying. I think he's misleading the audience. I think that the author didn't say Broner would win. He said Broner would have a good year. But it's cool. It's cool. This is what protectors need to do. We're not talking about those other four options in the article. We mentioned that they were so good that we would do shows on them. Each one, I believe, or at least the ones that we will do, deserve their own separate show, as the author separated each portion of the article from any other fighter. So Mario just trying to bring in Broner is trying to brainwash our listeners into saying, oh, well, this author is just out there. He's picking all underdogs. No, you can paint the picture that you want. Bottom line is Dillian Whyte's left hook has been making waves. Maybe someone doesn't want to get wet.
I've been saying that, though. I mean, I can't stop everybody from hearing the fact that that's what I've been saying. I've been saying Whyte is good. Whyte's got a very good he's got probable cause here. You know what I'm saying? It's like we're gonna get into jury and shit and like lawyer type shit. Like he's got probable cause to get into the ring with Joshua. That's what I've been saying from the beginning. But this man's prediction was that Anthony Joshua will not finish 2019 as the heavyweight champ, and he did go along to break down who would win the fights and who he thought was a problem for him. Sitting here, realistically speaking, that as a prediction, I don't see it coming true. Like to say that Anthony Joshua will lose a fight, I get that. To say that he'll lose a fight in the next 2 years, I can ride with you. To say that he's going to go into 2019 and fight 2 out of the top 5 guys that he mentioned, I think it's ludicrous. I don't think that's going to happen at all.
He didn't say fight 2 of the top.
I know, but I'm saying though the only
no.
You're not understanding what I'm trying to say.
You're trying to change this. He ain't say nothing about 2 people. He said Joshua will suffer a loss this year and won't be heavyweight champion this year.
And then what he say? He gave the 5 fighters that would beat him, right?
No, he said he gave the people who he thinks are likely to upset. That's
okay.
it.
That's what I was. I mean, that's exactly what I just said. All right, but my point is this: he can fight Whyte this year, but anybody else that could beat him.
Words, Mario. You said name the 5 fighters he said would beat him. He never said beat him. So
I'm speaking too literal. I got you. That's fine. This is the point I'm trying to make. Look, Whyte can't beat him. I don't think so. And anyone else on that list will not fight him this year. It's just not going to happen. I don't see it happening at all. So to me, it's not realistic to say in 2019 Anthony Joshua will no longer be champion. But I mean, I'll ride with the simple fact that if we're going to say if he did fight those people, he could suffer his first loss, sure, but who the fuck could run a gauntlet like that? I don't know. He's got a lot of disrespect for Joshua. He really does.
The article was not saying that he fight them all back to back or all in 1 year.
No. And I didn't mean it like that either.
The article was just simply stating no matter who he fights, no matter which road he goes down, he see a potential chance for Anthony Joshua may come up short. Not saying that he will come up short against the Wilder or Fury or Whyte or Miller, but those fights are likely this year, especially the Whyte and Miller fight. And if you fight those two guys, I hear what you're saying, but I think Dillian Whyte is a way better fighter than he was when AJ fought him the first time. And I think Dillian Whyte has the necessary tools to give AJ problems. We've seen Povetkin have some success last fight with a jab, and Dillian Whyte got a pretty long jab and got pretty long arms. So, and I think Big Baby is a problem for any heavyweight. And anytime a guy is that big coming towards you, the only thing that I don't know about Big Baby is how serious he is and what his weight will be coming in. But I know one thing, he's going to be active and throwing punches, and that could be a problem for AJ.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. I definitely don't disagree with you. And I don't want to premise this entire show with the idea that Mario Munguia doesn't believe that Whyte has a chance. I wouldn't want to see any fighter at the level of Joshua fight anybody that didn't have a chance. I guess I should say that he has a smaller chance than the rest of the guys, with the exception of Miller.
And what people
I'm glad you guys are trying to be so politically correct and tiptoeing around the actual words the author said. That gives me a chance to say it. Brings me such pleasure to read this. Whether it's because of an upset loss to the likes of Dillian Whyte or Jarrell Miller, or because of a defeat at the hands of Deontay Wilder or Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua will suffer the first loss of his professional career in 2019. Joshua is a really good athlete for the heavyweight division, and there's no questioning his heart, Mike and Mario. However, he's from the UK and somehow related to Amir Khan, and his chin and overall defense have looked increasingly vulnerable, which makes him a giant target, puts one on his back. Author feels this guy doesn't have a chin. What's your guys' thought on that? I mean, I'm going to say this, even though I painted a little narrative right there. It's the heavyweight division. It's hard to say who has a chin, who doesn't. Everyone's getting punched and, showing some sort of signs of vulnerability after being punched. So I'm not really.
Not having a chin kind of reminds me of being knocked out. AJ wasn't knocked out versus Klitschko. Matter of fact, he got up, started fighting back again. So for about to say that he doesn't have a chin.
Hey man, Khan gets back up a lot of times too. What's that mean?
He didn't get up against a Canelo. All right.
Well, he don't have a weak chin. He just have a bad defense. But I agree 100% with Mike. And really, Ness said this too earlier. Go ahead.
Just like the author put out that those guys can beat Joshua, Joshua can easily beat those guys too. So it's not like the author is not. It seems like he's not giving AJ the credit of being able to beat those guys in that article, because it says whether it's to upsets like Dillian Whyte or Big Baby Miller, or whether it's to a loss from Fury or Wilder, he's going to have his first loss this year.
That's exactly what I didn't like about the article. And if I seem combative about it, it's because of that fact. He's just not throwing any respect on Joshua's name to me. I feel like you said it perfect, Mike. What did you just say? You said that just like those guys could beat Joshua, Josh could beat those guys. But I feel like in the article, we're being misled to believe that some of those fights are 50-50 fights. A lot of those fights, Joshua is the favorite and the strong favorite. So
Mario, I gotta disagree with you, man. I'm looking based on
you disagree with me because
based on Joshua's last performance. Those fights are getting a lot closer.
And that's what the author is believing. Like, he's watching Dillian Whyte, get better by the day. Like, I seen someone in the chat saying, that AJ stood up to that left hook that I'm bragging about. Yeah, he stood up to it. What, at 14-0, maybe? Dillian Whyte was. Like, Dillian wasn't the man that he is now. He doesn't have the confidence that he does now. He isn't talking like he is now. He wasn't a pay-per-view star then like he is now. So a lot has changed. A lot has changed, at least in overall demeanor. And that means something. You know what I mean? That means something when you believe that you're as good as you are, or as people say you are. A different type of performance comes out of you.
One thing Dillian Whyte always harps on in that first AJ fight is that he wasn't all the way healthy. His left shoulder wasn't all the way back now, and now he's throwing that.
He said he had shoulder surgery.
Yeah. Now he's throwing that a hook, and it seems to be back. So I think Dillian Whyte can give AJ a definite run for his money, and I think that's why AJ is looking towards the Fury Wilder and possibly Miller fight. I don't think having what was this, the rivalry that those two guys have, I don't think AJ wants to give Dillian Whyte the chance to give him his first loss.
Here's my problem with this, though, okay, because if you look at all these fights and what can be made or what could be made, I look at Whyte and I see how easy Chisora was able to get to him in the early rounds. There was no method to that madness. It was a bulldozer route. And Joshua,
the method, according to the Dillian Whyte fans, was he was allowing Chisora to wear himself out, take him into deep waters, and do what he done. And now that he done it, you can't say that wasn't the game plan.
Well,
exactly what he said on
that's
Soccer AM, exactly what he said on Sky Sport. I mean, the interview with IFL TV.
And look, my only point is you can say anything afterwards. You could be Monday morning quarterback and say whatever you want. That said, Dillian Whyte got touched up, and no matter what your game plan is, you're not going to let a heavyweight just come down. And, Chisora found him. He did at times. He found him. Joshua could do the same thing. In fact, a lot easier, or I should say a lot harder. Okay. So hold on. Let me just finish this one premise point. So you go down that route and you see, with the way that Whyte looked, right? And then you go down the route with Wilder and you say that, damn, I wasn't even going to use Wilder. Okay. Tyson Fury, for example. And you could say like, oh, well, he could outbox Joshua, or Wilder could knock him out. Like, there's always going to be those subtle traits. It's like, what do you think he would do next? I think he would take the Whyte fight next. I really do. I'm not gonna say it's the easier fight. That sounds like something like, it's not necessarily the right way to put it, but at the same time, it is what it is.
That's why I like interrupting. I forgot what I was gonna
Pen and pad, homie. Pen and pad.
Yo, fucking hell, man. I'm just very interested in to see which direction all these heavyweights go. So many people available, man. We were talking about, Crawford and Thurman, and the fact that Thurman will be available in 19 days, and Crawford should wait to try and get that fight. Everyone's available now. Wilder's available. Fury's available. Dillian Whyte and Jarrell Miller and Luis Ortiz. Like, wow. Wow. Even Pulev is available. Like, wow. I wonder which way they're gonna go. That's like we're getting close to that, because we've heard reports from AJ in the past saying that he wanted to start training for his April fight as early as January 1st. And that's why he wanted Deontay Wilder to make his decision as early as before December 1st. So interesting to see when we will get this announcement. Before we go to the callers, and again, we have a scheduled interview in about 6 minutes with Stephen Edwards, also known as Breadman, Julian Williams trainer, and Kyrone Davis out of Philadelphia. Julian Williams should be taking on Jarrett Hurd, the unified junior middleweight champion, IBO, WBA, IBF, I believe, champion. So we'll have him a little later. Number to call in and give us your opinions on today's subject is 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 one time if you want to voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline. Don't forget to hit that morning, giving you that content. All right. So I guess we'll go to our sponsors and get out to these callers.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
Going out to Joel in Dubai. Pound for pound status. Good morning. Prince Joel, what up? All right, just listening. Going out to the mastermind, Javier in Alabama.
Yo. Hey, I'm gonna be rational this morning. I'm gonna be rational. I think the shit that they saying for AJ that he can lose this year, you can say that shit for any heavyweight. Cause I mean, bro, to be a heavyweight right now, that shit is a tough fucking battle. Like, dude, you got 6 heavyweights right now that all can probably beat each other. If you say you had 3 fights back to back from each one, they all could beat each other. Like Wilder, Fury, Joshua. I'll put White in there. I'll throw in Ortiz, Big Baby. Shit, you even got like younger heavyweights. I mean, well, not even younger. That motherfucker ain't young, but shit, newer heavyweights like Joe Joyce that still fucking. I feel like they can compete with the top heavyweights. Like, you can't say that about a lot of other divisions. Like, just how, well, you can about, I guess, welterweight, but like how packed it is. Like, at the top, these motherfuckers is pretty close together. Like, everybody keeps saying, oh, Tyson Fury can outbox this person. Tyson Fury can get knocked out by every one of them guys at the top. Like, them motherfuckers is not no easy fights. Like Ortiz and Fury is a crazy fight because it's like, shit, who gonna outbox who? Because Ortiz is a great boxer too. Like, shit just crazy. I mean, for a whole heavyweight division, bro, we so packed. We just want the fights. I don't give a fuck. To be honest, if you want to be honest, I don't care who AJ fight next. If he fight anybody in the top 5 of them heavyweights, I'm cool, but fuck it. Cut it.
Going out to, go ahead.
No, that's what Javi was saying, and he did a way better job of summing up exactly what I was trying to say. Is I got no problems with the theories that he's using. It's just like he's got to be real. The author, I'm saying, those theories extend throughout the heavyweight division because it's such a dangerous division.
Going out to Rhythm and Violence, Boomerang. Talk to us.
Yeah, I'm glad today that Mario admitted that Deontay Wilder was the fighter of the year. Because what you said, if AJ fought any of those top 5 fighters, what would it be?
I know, and I caught that shit too. I was like, damn, I just said Wilder's the fighter of the year.
You just say thank you for saying who the fighter of the year was, because that would be crazy to go to top 5 opponents in the heavyweight division. I know.
You ain't wrong.
All right then, but look, Mike, why in the hell would you think Ortiz would be the one that AJ just pick apart? I mean, like, he's scared.
I didn't say pick apart. I think he will be the.
So you put on together a person that knows how to box and a person that can knock you out. He don't want no smoke on the Ortiz. I think Jarrell Miller is probably his best route.
What?
Jarrell Miller out of Jarrell Miller out of the ones that can really knock him out. Jarrell Miller to me he got power, but it ain't that I'm about to lay you the fuck out power. And he to me, he more of a I'm a pound you down with my weight of my body type of power. And for some reason I don't understand why you think that Ortiz is just this easy pushover for Joshua. You tripping on that part.
I don't think he's a pushover, but I do think he is probably the easier of the opponent for Joshua. I think Big Baby Miller is just way too big coming forward. I think Dillian Whyte has proved himself this year that he's getting better and better. And I think Ortiz, based off the Kaufman last fight, not what he was against Wilder.
Jay Hardcore, Boomeranger, good morning.
Yo, what's up there, fellas? Hey, man, I think that the author is really looking at what's been going on with AJ. Every time AJ fights somebody rocks his ass, man. I mean, it's just there. And if he gets in there with one of them younger brothers that can finish him, it's over with. So I think that's more the reason why he's shooting that way, man. I mean, it is what it is, man. I feel, though, if he get in there with Big Baby and with that activity Big Baby got right now and weighing 300 pounds and leaning on his ass, you know his stamina ain't that great. So I just feel, though, that he can get clipped, and he will get clipped this year, and it's going to be over. But it's going to make a difference because UK going to love him. They're going to banish him back up and serve him right back out there, and he still be their top dude. So it don't even make a difference. He'll continue making the money he's been making. That's my call. Hey, Ness, I'm a mastermind now, though. No more Boomer.
Yeah, I know, but you still get boomerang status, though.
All right, then. I just was fucking with you, though, man.
Yeah, no, you still get to call in twice as a mastermind.
That's what's up. Hey, smash the like button. Let's keep pushing this show. Let's keep getting these hot interviews coming in. Let's keep it moving. Take it easy, fellas.
We about to get some fire right now coming straight from Philadelphia. He just jumped on the line. Let me just double check. Yep. We have Stephen Edwards, also known as Breadman, the trainer of Julian Williams, the trainer of Kyrone Davis, hailing out of Philadelphia. Talk to me. Good morning, first and foremost. Thank you for taking out the time to, interview right here with TBV, talk a little bit of boxing, and Happy New Year. How are you?
Same to you, man. Just working.
So how's everything, man? How's Julian?
Good. One of your guys, I think Joe Goodman, he did an interview with me not too long ago. I got a 122 pounder, and he was telling me that he works with you now. And then he did a little interview with me. I'm going to say the beginning of December, but everything is good. Just working, man. Just trying to figure out when these next dates are coming around. Julian should be pretty good.
So, I mean, we had Jarrett Hurd on the show last week. We had his trainer on the show. We had Harrison. We had Trout. Everybody's gunning for that Hurd hometown fight, but it looks like Julian is number one in the runnings. Is that what you guys want at this point?
Sure. I mean, you can't turn down a title shot, especially a second one. As far as where it's going to be at and all of that stuff is still yet to be determined. I've heard the same rumors you have, but it's the ink isn't dry yet. But we want the fight. I've accepted the fight. But sometimes I hear Hurd and his trainer say different things, and I know boxing is a business. I heard him say that they would be interested in Kell Brook, maybe unification with Harrison. So I really don't know 100%, but we are definitely we agreed to the fight in principle after we beat Nathaniel Gallimore, to be honest with you. So we just got to just see, man. Hurd's a great fighter. I know he's probably trying to maximize his earning power and potential right now. He's the only guy with 2 belts. So, he's pretty much a shot caller. So we just got to just see what's going on, where it's going to be at. I've been hearing maybe the spring. I heard the Barclay. I heard they was trying to find some venues in the D.C. area, but that wasn't working out. So, they might know more than me because they're the champions. But we definitely will be willing to fight. Julian's the number 1 contender with the WBC and RBF. So a title shot should be imminent.
Have you had any, I'm sorry, by the way, Steven, this is Mario Munguia. Have you had any conversations with J-Rock as far as what's going on? And I mean, because I can assume that it's difficult to keep a fighter focused when rumors circulate in the media all the time about who's going to fight who. What have you been able to discuss with him about the potential fight?
Well, when they brought the fight to our attention in April, you guys got to remember, we fought on the same card as Hurd. When Hurd fought Lara, we fought Nathaniel Gallimore for the number 1 spot. So, I mean, Julian, he's smart enough to know if you fight for the number one spot, you're going to be fighting that champion. So, you know, we talked about it. You know, he's all with it. He's confident in his ability. But sometimes when the rumors get out a little bit faster, then the ink gets dry. You know, in boxing, you got to just understand everything that people say is not always the truth. It is true to the rumor. We were presented with that fight, and we did accept it. We was presented with a Jamel Charlo fight before the Tony Harrison fight too, and we accepted that also. So you know, just because you're presented with something, that doesn't mean that you're going to get it. We took a stay busy fight in December because a lot of the guys were fighting each other. So we took a stay busy fight on the Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder undercard. Actually, heard for it on that card also. We were on the international broadcast. We didn't make the pay-per-view. So, you know, one thing I don't want to do is just sit around and wait for guys to decide when they want to fight. You want to kind of stay busy. So within the next, I say, month, hopefully something gets solidified, and then we could, you know, we could go from there.
Steven, so with Julian, are we only looking at Hurd because it's the biggest opportunity out there? And with that same mindset, what sort of challenges does Hurd present when you're comparing him to Jamal, right? Like, that's the only other big fighter we have to compare Julian to. What would you say some of the differences are going to be in this fight?
Well, to answer you in order, that's not the only person. I mean, he's not the only champion. You got Tony Harrison and Jaime Munguia. And we will get presented with those fights. You know, those fights would be enticing opportunities also.
Oh, but you think those guys are as big in stature? I meant like physique-wise. Like, I think Jamal and Hurd are the biggest.
You know what? I apologize. When you said big, I was thinking you meant like just like a big opportunity to fight for a title. You're talking about like physical size. Hurd is a big guy, you know, but man, it's boxing. You know, like one thing I never did, I never made excuses like Jamal was too big to fight at 154, because here's the thing. He won the fight and we lost the fight, and that's just that. But sometimes your size can work as a disadvantage because you got to make the weight. Sometimes you struggle to make the weight. So, I mean, Julian's not small. I look at Hurd as a major challenge, but it's not because of his size. He's a big guy, you know. I guess he's between 5'11" and 6 feet. He has long arms, but he got great stamina. He has a great chin. You know, it's hard to really say how two guys are, how something is going to play out until two guys get in the ring with each other and kind of match up. Him and Jamal are both big, but in my opinion, they're just different types of fighters. You know what I mean? Jamal is just different from him. Jamal probably is a little bit more athletic. He seems like a bigger puncher for one punch, but Jarrett seems a little bit calmer, does a little bit more creative things on the inside. You know, he's a little bit more looser with his approach. So they're both really good. I don't look at one as being better than the other one, but they're just different. So, you know, I got to like really study him and break him down and, you know, see how he is. But Hurd's a hell of a fighter, man. It's definitely a tough challenge. And he's all the accolades and stuff that he's receiving right now, he deserves.
Actually, I was going to piggyback off of that question, but I will say before I mention that you're not going to come out and make excuses, but I will say that Jamal did move up right after. And, the night of the fight, he did look really, really big. But anyway, you were about to talk about Jaime Munguia and Tony Harrison. What were you about to say about those men? And would you welcome those fights even more? I mean, not because you wouldn't want the Hurd fight, but just do you see them as bigger fights, like in general?
No, I don't. Hurd is the biggest fight you could get at 154 right now. When Nessa said Hurd, I misunderstood him. Like when he says that the only person we're looking at, Julian is number 3 with the WBO or number 2, and he's number 1 with the WBC. So at this point, we would take any opportunity we're getting to fight for the title. But I do think Hurd, because he beat Harrison and because he's unified with the IBF and WBA, I do think he's the biggest opportunity. But, you know, like, there's like a small little whisper, like, don't fight Hurd. He's a monster. Go after another guy and this, that, and the other. I don't live by that code. You know, a fight is a fight. You know, no offense to you guys, anybody else in the media, but you guys get fights wrong all the time. You know how many people thought Jamel was going to lose to Tony Harrison? All I heard was Tony Harrison didn't have a chin and he was going to run out of gas, and he wound up winning the fight.
Word up.
Absolutely right.
Hey, I'm not going to front and say I didn't think those two things.
Oh, you're absolutely right. That's exactly what I thought.
Well, at least you're honest. You know how it is. People get on Twitter, right? And then they can never be wrong because they always pick the guy that won the fight afterwards. You can never be wrong if you're going to be a Sunday morning coach or a Sunday morning predictor. So, you know, I've been hearing like, man, Hurd's a monster. Fight this guy, fight that guy. When you're talking about a title shot and you got a kid that's 28 years old, you got the bump. And what everybody else say don't matter. It's what you say, and man, it's what, you know, the man upstairs, you know, have in store for you. So I respect Jarrell Hurd. I respect his coach. You know, those guys are a class. They don't shit talk. They don't say anything disrespectful, and they doing it the hard way, man. They, you know, Hurd wasn't a great amateur or like this guy that everybody was knocking the door down to sign, and he made the most out of his career. But I don't look at him in awe of him. I look at him in flaw of him. He's a tremendous fighter, but he's not nobody that I'm going to say, well, we don't want that title shot. We want another title shot. If that's the title shot we're getting, then that's, you know, that's the guy we're going to fight. You know what I mean? My mind don't operate like that. I'm an optimist, man. So I'm just wanted to just say that, like, if they give us Jarrell Hurd, then that's what we're going to train for. He's just a man like Julian is a man. And, you know, after the fight, we'll just see who was right and who was wrong.
Stephen, let's just switch subjects a little bit. We were here talking a little heavyweight boxing. A very interesting article came out on Forbes this morning stating that Anthony Joshua will suffer his first heavyweight loss this year and will not be heavyweight champion. The author goes on to say that he believes that Anthony Joshua, whether it be because of an upset loss to the likes of Dillian Whyte or Jarrell Miller, or because he was defeated by Deontay Wilder or Tyson Fury, but that he will lose this year. What do you think about that statement?
Damn, I didn't know Forbes was doing boxing articles. You know, that's interesting. I'm an Anthony Joshua fan. I think he can really fight. And as far as, you know, whenever you go into a year, everybody always wants to predict who's going to lose their O. To me, it depends on, you know, who the guys fight. I think that Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder have the capabilities of beating Joshua. I would favor Joshua over Miller and Dillian Whyte. So, you know, it depends on who he fights. But right now, this probably won't be a popular opinion. I still think Joshua is the #1 heavyweight in the world. You know, his resume and him being the unified champion. And I think, you know, Fury and Wilder are like really, really, they're breathing down his neck. Those are all great fights. I could see like all of those guys beating each other in like a round robin tournament. I could actually see those guys defeating each other, kind of like, you know, Norton beat Ali, but then Foreman would beat Norton, and then Ali would beat Foreman. I could see that happening because, you know, stylistically, you know, each fight could play out different. Like Fury stylistically, I think is a bad fight for Joshua. But, you know, Joshua's a big, strong guy, and he throws some really, really nice compact punches. He might could get the Wilder, you know. So, you know, they're all great, tough fights. I think we're in the midst of a golden era heavyweight, and people don't realize it. This is the best heavyweight it's been for a really, really long time, where you got 3-4 guys that are really, really good in their primes that have like Hall of Fame type of potential. This kind of reminds me of the way the 90s was when you had Bo, Lewis, Tyson, and then you had like even the second tier guys were pretty good with Razor Ruddock coming up, with Chris Bird coming up, Andrew Galata coming up. So this is a really, really good era. But I'm not so sure that Joshua is going to lose his O this year, because you never know how what fights are getting made. You know, if he's making $50 million to fight anybody over there in the UK, he might not fight one of those guys this year. So you got to see who he's going to fight first.
Hey, let me ask you a question here. Where do you think Usyk fits into the heavyweight picture?
Oh man, you know what? That's a great question. I think right now, I'm not saying he could beat the big three, but I don't know if anybody else could beat him. I really don't. I don't know, like, of a guy like, let's say, Dillian Whyte or Derek Chisora or what's the guy, Joseph Parker. I don't know if they could beat him. You know, he has good size. He's not puny. I think Joshua kind of dispels that myth that you have to be 240 pounds. He was like 209, 210 against Wilder. Wilder was like 210 against Tyson Fury. Julian fought on that card, so I was at the weigh-in. He had on a mask that weighed like 2 or 3 pounds. So with Usyk's boxing ability, man, and his footwork and his speed, I think that's going to throw a lot of guys off. He's a stylistic nightmare for a lot of these guys. I don't know if he can beat Joshua Wilder or Fury, but everybody else, I don't know if I would favor any of them to beat Usyk. I'm really curious to see what he'll be able to do. I think he's going to have some success at heavyweight. I wouldn't be surprised at all if he becomes heavyweight champion in the next year or two.
Is it misleading of Dillian Whyte to say that no one knows Usyk or Luis Ortiz because they don't speak any English?
No one knows him. Speaks no English.
Yes, it is misleading. I mean, they're just as known as he is. I mean, Usyk won Fighter of the Year, right? His name is going to be all over the Ring magazine. He's a gold medalist.
Well, I mean,
even the pound for pound list.
His argument is
more highly regarded than Dillian Whyte.
His argument is that guys like himself in Brazil have done pay-per-views with Joshua, whereas, you know, Usyk hasn't, so no one knows him, and Luis Ortiz hasn't, and he doesn't speak English.
I mean, I don't know, man. I guess if that's his opinion, that's his opinion. But I don't think Dillian Whyte is more popular than Usyk. All I hear is everybody talking about Usyk winning all 4 belts and winning the World Series, and, you know, what he's going to do at heavyweight. I get more questions about Usyk than I do Dillian Whyte, and I think Usyk is a more highly regarded fighter. So, you know, I don't know. I was in Brooklyn when Luis Ortiz fought Deontay Wilder, and it was a good crowd. And, you know, I mean, obviously speaking English does, you know, help your marketability. But, I mean, it's not like Dillian Whyte is like he can't walk down a New York street without being mobbed. You know what I mean? He might be popular in the UK, but I don't know if I'll buy that excuse. He just fought Derek Chisora. I mean, Derek Chisora is not like a huge name. So I don't know. I mean, I think those are all good fights. And, you know, their popularity level, when a guy says that, I always wonder how much money you're being offered for the fight. Because a lot of times, Ness, I'm sure you know this, the networks cut the checks. So if the network is cutting the check, you know, a check is a check. So how much you would get to fight the guy is a huge important. I'm sure he would get well into 7 figures to fight either guy. So their popularity, I'm not sure if they're like as unknown as he's trying to make them out to be.
How's it going, Coach? Michael Gross here with the Boxing Voice.
How you doing?
My first question is, recently Mikey Garcia, Robert Garcia, and Vitti Conte came out kind of giving the bird to the public. Now J-Rock trains with Snack. I was trying to see what relationship that does he have with Victor Conte, and can you see improvements by being with Snack?
Yes. I don't know what you mean by give the bird. I'm not too familiar with what's going
I
on.
mean, Victor Conte, Mikey Garcia, and Robert Garcia all flip people off while doing a photo because of all the alleged Kangaroo Jack steroid comments made by Earl Spence.
Oh, okay. See, I wasn't aware of that. I did hear some stuff about the Willie Monroe thing or whatever, but let me just say this. First of all, Victor Conte is, he's cool with us, man. He's always there right by us. We go off to his facility usually maybe for about a week to 2 weeks during each one of our camps over the last maybe 4 years. We've probably been out there for every fight, maybe except for 2 or 3. Like the PED use in boxing is real big. I'm if y'all follow me, y'all know I'm outspoken on it. Victor Conte, I know he got his past and whatever. There's a lot of people in boxing who got shaky past, but he's one of the only sports nutritionists that I know of that pushes for VADA. That asks for VADA, that gets you signed up with VADA, that help you pay for VADA. Like it's a lot of guys that talk the talk, but nobody actually wants to sign up for it because they catch everybody and they take money out of a promoter's hand because they got to stop fights when VADA is being done because so many people keep getting caught. So, I know what the public says, but, I don't have no problem with Victor Conte. The supplements that he gives you, none of this shit is illegal. It's really, really simple. Anybody can order it off a line. He's never stuck no needles in our arm, none of that kind of nonsense. I don't believe in none of that. I got Julian signed up for VADA when we wasn't even ranked by the WBC. I've asked for VADA for every fight that he's had, including the Jamal Charlo fight, and we never got it. So, I don't, it's not going to be a guilty by association thing over here because there's a lot of people in boxing that's doing PEDs and that get caught. And, everybody that's in their crew, doesn't get condemned for it. Willie Monroe don't have nothing to do with us. As far as I know, dude took testosterone, some stuff called Nugenics that anybody could get a GNC. It had nothing to do with snack. And that's just something that he personally tried to do for the fight. I'm not going to say nothing bad about the guy because I don't know him and I don't know all of the details, but I do know that part, and that has nothing to do with snack. You know what I mean? As far as I know, he wasn't even in the Bay Area training for the fight. And Mikey Garcia, Earl Spence thing, that don't have nothing to do with us or me, so I really don't know any of the details of that. I just know it just came out that they're both taking VADA, which is the standard bearer for catching people in this era, So, I hear a lot of stuff about Victor Conte, but people don't talk about the fact that he's like an ambassador to take VADA. Like, as far as I know, he told Mikey, you can't even come out here unless you're willing to do VADA. So it's not a lot of strength and conditioning coaches or sports nutritionists that's willing to say that. Like, because most people know that you kind of know who's doing what by the people that's proactive as far as taking the VADA. The guys that can take it and can afford it, that don't take it, those are the guys that you kind of look at like, damn, how come they trust their opponents so much not to do it? So, the one thing about Victor's guys that are high-level guys, they all ask for VADA and sign up for VADA and put themselves in the open testing pool. And what Mikey's doing is even bigger because he's paying for it, which ensures that you're consistently tested throughout a period of time. So, I've heard a couple of little things. I try to stay too much off the internet. I never heard no Kangaroo Jack comments, but I like Earl a lot. That's my man. And I don't really know Mikey Garcia like that, so, that fight has nothing to do with us. But the Victor Conte guilty by association thing, that don't work over here, man, because Julian's a clean fighter. We've been asking for VADA forever, and there's a million fighters that do snack. Everybody that does snack, some guys just actually get the supplements. They don't even go out to the facility. But there's a lot of guys that do snack. And, Willie Monroe is, he's a new guy at snack. So, he's not going to tank tarnish the reputation of everybody else that goes out there. Nonito Donaire was the first guy to do 24/7 year-round testing, and he was with Snack. And he really is the pioneer in this era for a clean fighter that won Fighter of the Year, that was getting the needle stuck in his arm 365, 24/7, and made itself available to the testers all the time. So I think that it's a little bit, when some not saying you guys specifically, but sometimes people get a little bit irresponsible and reckless with their comments about, you know, who's doing this and who's doing that, because the first guy to test 24/7, 365 was Nonito Donaire. And he was with Victor Connie and Snack. And I don't think that Willie Monroe's positive test should have a bearing on anybody's opinion of the 150 other guys that's being sponsored by Snack as far as their supplements is concerned.
I think you have a point. I do, but there was a lot of criticism as to how Conte handled the Willie Monroe thing. You know, the way he came out, and I mean, almost threw him under the bus at a time when Willie wasn't even
throw him under the bus. Let's not
okay. He threw him under the bus. He definitely
he took something that wasn't not given by Snack.
So my question is, seeing how he threw Willie Monroe under the bus at a time when Willie wasn't ready and he wasn't being forced to reveal what happened, does that give you any drawback? I mean, what do you think about the way that Victor Conte handled that situation?
That's a great question. I personally, like I said, I didn't know how he handled it. I'm glad you guys enlightened me on it. Here's the thing, and this might not be a popular opinion. If somebody is representing your company and they take something that you did not authorize or you would have been against, that is a stain on your company. I'm answering questions about Willie Monroe right now, and I've never even met the kid because of what he took. There's kids that take Snack, Caleb Plant, Harris Landy Lara, Julian Williams, Mikey Garcia, Nonito Donaire. I could go on and on and on and on and on. That took Snack, that never ever had any positive test, that don't know anything about Willie Monroe, but they got to answer questions about him. So I can understand why Victor Connie wanted to disassociate himself with somebody who basically cheated. You know what I mean? Because they're going to draw the relationship and say, well, he's linked up with Victor Connie. Victor Connie had some issues back in the early 2000s with the Sprinters and Marion Jones, and then they're going to put 2 and 2 together and they're going to get 6, and they're going to say, well, there is a chance that he could have gave him these supplements. You know, so I think it's a tough position to be in. I've never been in that position before. But if I was, I most likely would want to disassociate myself with somebody that cheated also if they represent my company, because that ruins your brand. Then you got other people that'll be like, well, I don't want to go over there because of what happened to Willie Monroe. When in actuality, everything that I read about it was that Willie Monroe just notified VADA when they were testing them. I was taking this over-the-counter stuff from GNC, and it did something to my testosterone, something he had no business taking, something they warn you not to take, and he just took it. You know, and I don't want to kill Willie Monroe and say anything bad about him, but I understand why Victor Connie would do that. I would want to disassociate myself with a cheater too if I had a past like that and I wanted to.
I mean, is it fair to call him a cheater without that second test result?
I don't. You know what? Let me take the word back, cheater. I want to disassociate myself with somebody who had a positive test also, if I felt as though something wasn't right with it. You know, I don't want to use the word cheater. I misspoke on that. But somebody, because a cheater is an opinion, a positive test is a fact. So I would want to disassociate myself with somebody who had a positive test too, if I knew that they took something that they wasn't supposed to be taking. And let me tell y'all something real quick about testosterone. It's a lot of things you could do to build up your testosterone. We all men. Everybody has sex or whatever. You know things that you could do to build up your testosterone. You could take more zinc. You could sleep better. You could take more vitamin D. Like, there are things, if you just research it, that you could do. You don't have to take a testosterone booster. They tell you, if you guys have a fighter that's under VADA, they tell you how strict they are and said synthetic and artificial testosterones, when they come up, you're tested positive. They let you know these things. The only way you can do that is if you go to a doctor and get a therapeutic uses exemption. So this is things that are known. A lot of times people take stuff, right? And then they come to y'all guys in the media and be like, oh, I didn't know. Bro, it's not like you were eating broccoli and the broccoli had something in it. You took a testosterone booster. They specifically let you know you can't do stuff like that. So I stay in my lane. I only answer questions that I'm asked. But when people a lot of times try to play ignorant and try to play innocent, that don't be the case. You know, if you guys would talk to some experts, Ness, you need to get on the phone with Margaret Goodman and people from VADA, and they will let y'all know that a lot of this stuff, when people play ignorant, that be game to make it seem like that they were innocent people. And I'm not saying that nobody's ever taken anything that they didn't know. None of us are scientists. If we was, they wouldn't be getting punched in the head for a living. But the eugenics thing is clear as day. It's a testosterone booster. It's clear. It's in a black bottle. Everybody sees the commercials. So if you're willing to take that, then, you know, it's either two things. You're just really, really, really now you're misinformed, or you're trying to do something you're supposed to do. I'll give Willie Monroe the benefit of the doubt. I'm just saying that nobody can blame Victor Connie because he tried to get an edge and took a supplement that had nothing to do with Victor Connie.
My last question for you is a famous quote by the lyricist Jay-Z: "A loss ain't a loss, it's a lesson." What's the biggest difference between J-Rock, pre-Jamal Charlo, and post-Jamal Charlo?
Another great question. You know what, man? We're gonna have to see when you fight Jarrell Hurd. You know, I don't want to be like the trainer that like wants to. You know, I try to stay even kill. You know, I'm not gonna put my guys too far up, but I'm definitely not gonna put them too far down. You know, I try to keep everything in perspective. Jarrell Hurd is a hell of a fighter. You know, so we have to see. We got to see if Julian matured within. You know, I know what the narrative was with the Charlo fight. I know which fight I was watching. You know, and a lot of times people get caught up in the end result and the highlights. But if you look at the fight, Julian was holding his own. He just got hit with a great shot. Now, why he got hit with that shot, he gonna have to show maturity against Jarrell Hurd. So we're gonna see. I can't really say right now because you don't know until you under that live fire again. I thought he did good with Nathaniel Gallimore. That's another guy that a lot of people was picking to beat him because he was talking a lot of shit. And he supposedly had a big punch. And Julian, you know, pretty much handled them pretty easily. So we got to see, man. It's a great question. I don't know. Maybe y'all can interview him and ask him. I don't want to answer that for him. He gotta get in the ring and he has to show it, because Jarrell Hurd's not going to be an easy fight. You know, as a coach, you know, I don't let a guy get too complacent. You know, Jarrell Hurd's a real fight, man. That dude, he seems to do the same thing to everybody. After about the 8th or 9th round, them guys look like their soul was out of their body. He wears you down in a different kind of way. So, you know, we have our work cut out for us with a guy like Jarrell Hurd, and you know, I'm looking forward to it. You know, but at the same time, I know that that's a tough fight. Julian's a big underdog, and you know, the odds are going to be against us to win that fight because of the status that Hurd has right now. So ask me after the fight, and I'll let you know whether he matured or not. You know, because all anybody cares about anyway is the result. So we got to see.
Absolutely, and we are definitely looking forward to that fight should it come about. But we wanted to thank you, Mr. Stephen Edwards, Breadman, for joining us today. If you got any social media or anything you want to plug, you could go ahead and do so at this time.
No, not really, man. I'm on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, but same thing as all the bread, man. So, you know, I'm more
sir.
The fans that want to follow me.
Awesome. Again, well, thank you so much for joining us, and we hope you have a great rest of your day. Good luck.
Stephen, man, take it easy. We appreciate the time as always. There you have it. Stephen Edwards, trainer of Julian Williams, Kyrone Davis. Good guy. Yo, B. So that was good. I'm trying to get some other people here in the background. We'll see what happens, you know. But
I enjoyed the bread man call, man. I think he was very sensible. Had a lot of things to say. Some things that I didn't agree with, but some things that I did. So great call.
I love this take on the heavyweight division. He articulated that well.
Yeah, but I think every fighter is has the right to due process, just like every civilian. So I think the thing should play out, and then we can draw better conclusions. Then, because this just my personal opinion. I have no facts. I have nothing for this. In my personal opinion, I don't look at William Monroe as being the guy who cheats. Just don't.
yeah, me neither.
Nah, me neither. And I'll say something too about like that's.
Oh well, yeah, because you have experience, and I was gonna say the same thing. I have an experience where, like, I took that over the counter GNC Jack 3D, and I think that's kind of where that whole Kangaroo Jack comes from, because the bottle was called Jack 3D. So like that makes you test for amphetamines, I believe, and it's like that's over the counter. So if Willie's saying he bought it over from a bottle over the counter at GNC, there's a huge possibility because there's so many things on the banned substance list.
Exactly.
But we need to find out. I've never done any research. Has anyone found out what the actual thing is? Because they just been saying an adverse finding. They never said what it was. Like at least we knew for whoever else what the actual drug was. But
yeah, somebody had reported an elevated testosterone sample, but I think that came out as not true. But the thing about test boosters, it's funny because I've been doing powerlifting and well, I did bodybuilding early on, but powerlifting for a long time now. And what's so funny is that mostly everyone in that community will tell you that those things rarely do anything. Now you can find the ones that do. You can do your research and you can find that needle in a haystack that'll really help you develop more testosterone. But the problem is all of them have something in them that will give you bad samples. So it's a difference between Mario Munguia, who doesn't get tested, who's not a professional athlete, to take something that's really not going to help him very much get to another level because he doesn't have the genetics to do so on his own, versus somebody like a Willie Monroe or anybody really that's at that athletic level that'll take something that wouldn't help a regular person but could help him, but even if it doesn't help, it can still fuck up your testosterone samples. So it's really, really hard. Unless you're taking pure synthetics, you're not going to see any huge shift. And that's what scares me. But when you go and you take like over-the-counter test boosters and stuff, most of them don't work. And then the ones that do work, only work a little bit. But, if you're an elite athlete, it's a completely different situation. You have to know better.
You're absolutely right, man. You got to know better, but yeah, and you shouldn't be taking stuff over the counter if you're a professional athlete. Everything
at that level, right?
Everything should come from a third party vendor, which a third party vendor means someone who actually tests the test whatever you're taking and make sure there's no illegal substance in it.
Yo, and one time, like as a joke, I went in and asked them about stuff at GNC, knowing the answer, and they couldn't help me. So a lot of times those guys really can't even help you.
Let me get to the callers. We're going back out to the calls. You know the number 14255695241. Press 1 one time. Voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline. Let's go.
Day to this day.
Big C. What up, baby? Big C in Washington. Talk to me.
Damn, Big C out here killing with the intro now.
Nah, that was just a little prelude, baby. Oh, you coming straight for Mike. That's what I like. Come at Mike.
Good morning.
In the morning.
I heard Mike, you said Jarrell Miller been fighting all bums and don't have no power.
Say what?
That's exactly what Anthony Joshua wants. He gonna knock him out.
Hold on. Go back. We ain't hear you because the phone was kind of breaking up. I said, what about Jarrell Miller?
You said he was a harder fight than Luis Ortiz.
Yeah, I believe so. I think Jarrell Miller is a tougher fight for Anthony Joshua than Ortiz based off the performance of Ortiz's last fight.
But Jarrell Miller been fighting all bums that don't have.
What? I can't. You say Jarrell Miller been fighting all bums and he ain't got no power?
Yeah, he don't have no power. That's exactly what Anthony Joshua wants.
I mean, you got to blame his promoter if you don't like his fighting, but I think Jarrell Miller is a real threat to Anthony Joshua when they get in that ring. If you don't, then that's your opinion.
And then look, it's one more thing before I get off of here. That Terrence Crawford shit, man, he on a similar path as Triple G. Saying people ducking, but lowballing the whole time. Don't want to fight no real people. By the time he finally fights somebody, he gonna get beaten.
Again, you got an opinion that I don't agree with. I mean, but you're entitled to your opinion. This is the voices of the people.
Cut it.
Popping all this champagne, popping all this rosé, getting money like Jose, chain cold, Norway, shorty wants that foreplay, I'm like, no way, gotta rock it like Coldplay, killing it, OJ, getting cheese like Green Bay, call me Aaron Rodgers, hopped out that Dodger, dodging them coppers, my boy got them choppers, you don't want no problem, my boy got them choppers, you don't want no
Yo, man, look, I got the extended version. Very good, man. You know what? I was just gonna talk about that one guy, man, that you guys were talking to. Very good interview. But why associate with a cheater to begin with, man? Like, you know, I don't know why people give Conte a second chance. What he did was like, you know, beyond reprehensible, man. And he fucked with something so integral of sporting that I don't know how he should be even allowed to work with athletes again, man. So
because everyone's entitled to a second chance. This is America, the land of opportunity. You live in Canada, so I could see why you feel that way. Which is weird because Canadians are usually nice, you know. So you should be willing to give a guy who did wrong the opportunity to do right. He shouldn't be condemned by a mistake for the rest of his life.
No, you know what? I believe he shouldn't either, but he shouldn't be allowed to work with pro athletes because what he did, he didn't just benefit financially from it, man. What he did is, if you look at the history of what Conte did, he fucked over people, man. He fucked over people that worked their entire lives to be at the platform where they deserve to have a chance to win. And because he gave his athletes an advantage, he unjustly ruined people's lives, man. It's not fair, man. That's the truth. So I trained my whole life to be an Olympic athlete. I get there, I have 10 seconds to be gold, and I lose, and everything I've worked my whole life goes down the drain because some motherfucker cheated. Man. It's just not fair, man. That's the way I see it. You know, and in boxing, when someone can die and something can happen, when it's not a race, it's strength. It's a fight. We see what happened with some boxers, man. I just don't think that man should be allowed in boxing, man. That's how I see it. Because what he knows.
Listen, I'm not personally sticking up.
Than what most people know.
I'm not personally sticking up for Conte. I'm personally sticking up for second chances. Is all. I don't think that any man, regardless, any man, any woman, any person should be condemned for one mistake in their life.
I do. Death to all pedophiles and rapists.
Yeah, that's not a mistake,
and
my friend.
too,
that's not a mistake. That's a sickness.
Yeah, that's like
you just being weird right now. That
am I being weird?
That ain't even got nothing to do with the conversation. Like that's just like way left.
I'm just saying that this is mine. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry.
Anyway, it's not a big deal. It's just I just hear people call him like, you know, like the fact that he's calling cut
it. Jose, you finding a way to get more than the allotted 1 minute and 30 seconds. Way to go, my friend. We're going out to Boomerang or KO. Talk to me. Skype. Boomerang, KO, you still just listening? Okay, then. Going to JD Boomeranging in from the Texas.
JD, motherfucker.
There's a lot of things I like to move, so just trying to get on my game on boxing. I don't know why they gonna call me because I'm a 54-pounder, but I have a brother that's at 160.
What? Yo. All right. So, one quick thing, man, about Victor Conte, right? I saw the documentary, and before I say anything, I gotta say that, hey, my favorite fighter is with Snack. Listen, I saw a documentary.
Which one, Jacobs or Charlo?
Jacobs.
Or Andre?
So listen, well, both of them. I like all these guys, right? I like Mikey Garcia too. But one thing I gotta say is, right, I saw the shit with Devin Haney on Showtime, right? He went to the Snack facility. Yo, that's my first time seeing that facility. That shit is dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if y'all got a chance to see that.
That shit was cool as fuck, bro.
And we got plenty of footage of that on our YouTube channel. We've been in that facility a lot of times. When Lukey Boxing used to work for us, there's a lot of footage there from Andy Vince's. Just a lot of fighters. And Mike Basil. Actually, holy shit! I think we have a scheduled interview with Mike Basil today or tomorrow that I forgot. I gotta go check.
Were you guys able to like test out any of the machines?
Lukey did.
Cool.
In the Bay Area. I didn't go there. Lukey did.
Awesome.
But listen. If you don't use none of the, I don't know. I wouldn't take none of his concoctions that he make up. I wouldn't drink none of his shit. You know what I mean? But if you use the facility like I saw Devin Haney using it, you know what I mean? Like, I don't see nothing wrong with that. You know, the high altitude shit. You know what I mean? Like, what Jose just said, about the second chances shit, I get it, but I see what Jose is saying though. You know what I mean? At the same time, like, the man, he did fuck over some people. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, about Anthony Joshua, real quick. Listen, I agree with one of the callers who called in earlier. Listen, any heavyweight can lose at this point. It's that good. We just got to see the motherfucking fights. Please. Let's stop talking about some goddamn...
Cut it. JD, use that status. Let me see. We got Troy, Baltimore.
It's an opinion. Anybody can write an article. It's an opinion. We'll never know. But this is why boxing, this is the only reason why boxing would need a Don King, because he would have a heavyweight tournament going on right now. He would take all them cats from 147. It'll be a tournament. All those cats from 160. It'll be a tournament. There's all these fighters out there, but no one's fighting. If King was still around in boxing, we would have those fights. And that's what boxing is.
He's still around. He just got pushed out. He's still around.
Exactly. Which means he's not around because he has no power to do anything.
Because he ain't got no clout.
So
you asking for a dude that lost the game. You asking for a dude that let the game slip through his hands.
No. I'm asking for someone who had the power and the mindset.
He obviously ain't had the power to sustain.
Okay.
He ain't had the power to sustain. Wow. He ain't had the power for longevity and growth.
And you keep wasting your breath trying to go back and forth with someone you can't defeat. My point is that if you had someone like a Don King around,
like a Don King that got sued every minute. I mean, this guy's bugging. This guy's a rookie, man. Where you find this guy?
So forth and all that stuff and all that. You would have fights being made. Because tell me something, man. Since you're talking so much, why aren't these fights getting made?
Since you want to teach us so much, old man, tell us what fighter was happy with Don King.
I asked you a question, sir. You need to respect your elders, man, because hey.
Tell us what fighter was happy with Don King.
I'm always going to be 47
Tell us what fighter was
I'm
happy
always
with
gonna be
Don King. For
47,
you to come
youngster.
up here talking Don King would
I
save
don't care.
boxing,
Listen,
who was happy with Don King?
It's not so much. It's not so much that about being happy with Don King. Is that the power he had to make tournaments and so forth happen. I don't care who was happy or we're not having that conversation. I'm saying someone like him that could get things done because you have all these open fights and no one's fighting. Why is no one fighting right now? You have all these open.
Last I checked, Don King had nothing to do with any super fight in the last
still not answering
15
the question,
years.
man. Why don't you humble yourself and just say you can't answer
Last
the question?
15 years. You know what? You earned yourself extra time, but it's time to let you go. This guy's bugging. He can't even name a fight with Don King included that doesn't end in Mike Tyson. Like, please, that man ain't been relevant since the last time Troy was out there dating.
Troy can't never get his call, boy. He always says some dumb shit.
I'm telling you, I don't know what he thinking. But hey, I still like you, Troy. He earned them. Look. The bell about to ring in 17 seconds, so he damn near got 3 minutes. I mean, shit. We going to Noah and Cali. Talk to me.
What's cracking?
What up? Good morning.
2 by land, 2 by sea.
Morning, Brody. Hey, man, these shows be hella early in the morning. It's just like storming out here. But anyway, what's up, Shorty? What I was gonna say is that he tripping, man. Yeah, man. What did your boy do for Bermern Stavern? Don King. But yeah, man. Long story short, what the fuck? Hey, I'll call you right back. Hold up, nigga. I'm a.
This nigga, he about to whoop somebody, dog. They gonna punish somebody real quick.
Not duck me, son. You better not duck me, son.
See somebody that owe him some money or something, or a nigga was trying to get in his car. Something was going on. Something was going on like that, bro.
Straight to the point for those with attention deficit. I'm so repetitive, so I gotta repeat. Stainless from the streets to the deep. I'm coming with that heat. All you need to know about me, I'm coming with that heat.
Yo, TBV. Good morning.
What up?
Ain't nothing, man. I was half awake until that last caller just went to beat somebody up. I don't know what the fuck happened there, man. They need to get that dude in the ring.
We got the best callers in the world, baby.
I was listening. Man, I was listening, then Troy threw me off with all that Don King talk, man. Don King, like Manny Pacquiao, he need to retire.
Don King was poisoning the game, and he want to bring him back. This dude bugging.
Man, what super series did Don King ever have? When did Mike Tyson go have to fight a bunch of people?
Mike Tyson got one of the most padded records till he start getting his ass whipped. What is Troy talking about?
Right. But on to the topic at hand, man. Unfortunately, I have to agree with Troy, though. It is just his opinion. I mean, I pretty much agree with the opinion. I mean, I think Joshua. I mean, I don't know about that Dillian Whyte thing. That'd be a true upset because he already knocked the man out. I don't see his skills getting good enough to keep himself from getting knocked out. Because
I know it was the amateurs and shit, but Dillian Whyte got a victory over him. I know. I'm just saying. So it's proven like I understand what you guys want to say. Professionals are totally different.
You know what
they are, but.
You know what I'm saying?
Meanwhile, Mike don't say that.
Hey, I ain't smoking yet.
Hey, Stainless. Meanwhile,
you know what I'm about to say, Ness.
Yeah. Meanwhile, he won't say Danny got away. Exactly.
I mean, but you said though. You said all the time though.
Oh, Mike, let him get his call.
We talking about the pros, Mike. You know, like I do. You know what I'm saying? From amateur to pros, it changed. And amateurs, it count more for hitting that part of the glove on those spots of the body. You know what I'm saying?
The chin don't change.
System. Garcia did not.
Cut it. Going out to New Jersey.
Just like the king is what I mean. The king is what I mean. My man, get a cup and put some change inside your hand. Now hold up. Let's make this.
TBV in the morning. Shout out to Noah. We got to hear from you, Noah. We got to make sure you ain't jammed up because you straight jumped on somebody's ass, B.
And let me not even say that. Shout out to Noah though. Shout out to everybody. One thing y'all mentioned that Jack 3D. Let me just say this shit. I know about that one personally because I used to, when I first started working out, I used to take a lot of that shit or some pre-workout shit.
What's up with y'all niggas?
I don't like it because
it's a pre-workout. You ain't never lift weights in your life,
bro. I played basketball, football in high school and college, my nigga. Don't tell me what I ain't did. We ain't never take that motherfucking bullshit, nigga. My shit was all natural, homie. All natural, homie. I had hops, nigga, all natural, baby.
Yo, he ain't never.
Ask anybody who knows me, nigga, back then. Mike was a beast in the weight room. Mike was a beast in the weight room. Ask anybody who know me. Anybody who know me, homie.
Mike, we can't
y'all
hear
gonna
you.
give my time back.
No, Mike stole your time. He a time stealer.
Nah, it's all. I love Mike. He gonna give me my time. Mike got love for me. He gonna give me my time. But look, it's the difference because y'all know that. Let me just say this very easily. The temperament of a brother that play basketball, he don't like all that physical contact. So he might not be into building his body for strength. There's a certain kind of I love basketball too. But certain niggas you can't foul, and certain niggas you foul them, and they gonna huff and puff and put everybody in front of them except for whatever. So, not Mike, but I'm saying it wouldn't surprise me. A lot of cats that are physically strong enough to play basketball, they're not necessarily into weight training. If you're trying to get on your serious weight training, trying to turn your body over, trying to add muscle mass, it's certain shit you might just touch. I ain't talking about like roids, but this you go to Vitamin Shop or GNC. You go and get the little pre-workout shit. You go to the gym, it's a little $2 a scoop. But Ness, I found out that shit right there, that Jack 3D, the dude that was making it makes it in the fucking garage in North Bergen, B.
Well, he got rich. I know that because that shit made it everywhere. But that shit had people popping left and right. We got a bunch of boomerangers trying to check in, but it looks like we got
a mastermind. Is Javier on the line? He texts like a motherfucker, but he ain't saying he ready yet.
All right, well, there you go. CK, Cincinnati. What up?
Cincinnati in the building.
What's up, Nez? How you doing, brother?
I'm good, brother. I'm good.
Do it.
You mind getting off that Bluetooth for a speaker right now just to have the other callers ready?
God damn.
Yeah, I know. It's all good. I got you.
We got some real ass callers, boy. God damn.
We're right there.
There we go.
Thanks.
Oh, shit. We're going to come back to you, CK. Don't you worry about it, man. Who we got? We got KO on the boomerang check-in. Go.
Yo. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Good stuff. Yeah. Anyway, so that article, I read the whole article. I mean, that guy, I don't know if he's credible or anything. He said, Broner beats Manny Pacquiao. Do you guys think that happened?
He didn't say that. He said Broner will have. He says Broner will have a good year in 2019. He gives Broner a chance.
If you read the article, he actually says Broner beats Manny Pacquiao. He said that. So I don't know. I don't get his credibility. I think that realistically, all these heavyweights, all of them would give AJ the top 5, but so we just need to see them fight. That's it. But I don't know, why do Americans hate AJ so much? Next, tell me why. Because it seems like you guys don't like him at all.
Because y'all always call in on a damn Bluetooth trying to support his ass.
You always calling in on a speakerphone, fucking up the call. I mean, all that background noise sound like you in a government office right now. You know what I'm saying? I hope that you are working, which is always nice, having people listen to the show during work. I'm just skimming through here. Mario, can you point out where he says that he will win? Because I see Pacquiao is vulnerable.
I not only believe Broner will beat Pacquiao, I think he will use this victory as a springboard to one of the most professional, successful years of his career.
But listen, I'm not even gonna hate on Ness though, because I actually missed it the first time when we had talked about it. I missed it, and then I was going on later after the interview was over, and I was just like, "Oh shit, it does say that." So I'm actually glad he brought that up.
Hey man, that's why we said we gave you the link in terms.
Well, Javier gonna clean up. If this nigga right, Javier gonna clean up.
I mean, did Javier put some money down? I don't think he did.
Shit, with everybody. You don't know no more.
Oh.
You don't know no more.
Man, little punk ass straight 50. Get the fuck out. That shit ain't about nothing.
No, it's like 8 people out there. He got $50 with though.
Yeah. That same 8 people about to clunk him in the head when Pacquiao sleep.
That's true too.
We're going to NL. You know, I'm hoping that I ain't play Amin's intro too fucking long. That's all that's going through my head now. I was doing other shit. I forgot
I didn't hear it, my nigga.
Intro.
I didn't even hear it, homie.
Gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you a young fella, and he comes from the Magnolia.
Yo, these dudes need to hit up Dollar DiBiase before they get us fired. NL, what up? Good morning.
Good morning, bro. I don't know what happened yesterday, bro. We had a miscommunication, dig? But we ought to be up and running today, you hear me?
You definitely are.
Back to the right. Look, let me jump on the boxing right quick, bro. Just like that. That was a good ass interview right there, man. That was a good ass fucking interview, bro. But at the same time, I mean, everybody that's involved with Snake, all of them sound like that shit. Mikey Garcia, whoever involved, like when they like Devin, like if you told Devin Haney, he gonna sound just like that shit. You know what I'm saying? Not the vicinity. I ain't got nothing against the vicinity. I mean that shit looks state of the art, man. I ain't never been there, but just I'm looking at Mikey hitting on the bag, and I'm looking at other fighters in there, bro. That shit is like some real good ass training, man. But for those supplements, I wouldn't have my face on that shit like you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't help sponsor that shit and promote that shit, man. I wouldn't have nothing to do with that shit, man. 'Cause this man got caught, you know what I'm saying, putting shit in people, bro, and telling them they wasn't gonna get. Well, I don't know what he told them, but I don't know if they even knew what they were taking. But he fucked over them, you know what I'm saying? And this dude he done got caught with track stars, baseball players. Man, this dude, man, I wouldn't have myself associated with that dude at all, bro. Because you're going to get all this type of
Cut it. Use that status. I know we going out to Mastermind Javier using his.
Big money.
Hey, I think somebody ain't that. Bro, hey, watch your mouth about Broner, man. Hey, watch your mouth when you come on here talking about Broner. Everybody who talking shit, watch your mouth. All right? I'm gonna need to collect all my money from you motherfuckers after this over with. You too, Ness. I ain't forget about your bet. He over here forgot now. Oh, little straight 50.
What you got, nigga, about 600 out there?
Remember my straight 50.
I do my best, but my best wasn't good enough.
Javi going missing.
Just, hey, I ain't going missing. I ain't broke. Don't worry about me, baby. I hold my bets up. Hey.
Javi, let me explain something to you real quick, all right? Broner, hold up. Broner couldn't survive R. Kelly, let alone Manny Pacquiao. All right, so I'm sorry, it's over.
What's going on right there, man?
No, I'm watching that. I'm watching that docu-series, and
that's good as shit.
My head.
I ain't even started yet, but that shit.
It's just called Surviving R. Kelly.
We're gonna talk about it on Untitled because somebody put it as one of the topic questions. So
I can't Don't do that.
We're gonna be watching. We're gonna be talking about Surviving R. Kelly on Untitled today at 1:00.
Bro, hey, I'm gonna tell y'all in the chat what he talking about. I don't want to put that on the air, but I ain't even gonna do all that. But all I'm saying is y'all keep hating on Broner like he just this bum. Like, why y'all talking about like he just
cut it. Javier, man, stop letting people waste your call, man. We going out.
A bum. He just,
Jack is the truth. Talk to me. Oh, am I wrong about Jack being the truth?
Jack being a lie. He gonna talk shit in the chat, but he won't hop on and talk that shit.
That is Jack, right? Akan?
Yo, can you hear me?
All right, here we go. There we go.
So you're not Jack.
No.
Jack is Akeem. Damn, Jesus Christ. This guy's with all these screen names. Go ahead, Akan. Talk to us. How are you, buddy? Let me restart this clock for you.
I'm good. I'm sorry, Ness, but I have to come for you.
Come for me, bro. Listen, I love sparring.
Because obviously, no, but this is why we call you Narrative Nez. You always
Okay.
wonder, oh, we're sheep. We call you Narrative Nez for a reason. So you obviously picked up this article, but it was convenient because when I was hearing you read out the article, you kind of missed out a key point. So that same writer who's actually specializes in talking about video games, specializes in talking about video games, he also said, with a giant target on his back, Joshua is primed to fall at the hands of a big-time puncher or skillful boxer. So which one of Whyte or Miller is more skillful or a bigger puncher than Adrian?
I mean, it wouldn't matter my opinion. It was the author's opinion. And in the author's opinion, he stated it would be Dillian Whyte, Jarrell Miller, Deontay Wilder, and Tyson Fury. Those are the people he believed Anthony Joshua would fall at the hands of. All I did was come present to you an article, which I said in the beginning of the show that I wanted to do a secondary show on this article because there's more tasty information here. Like, I would love to do the Keith Thurman one. You think that you guys don't want to hear me talk about Keith Thurman and how this guy thinks Keith will lose? Don't be mad because he's saying AJ will lose. He's also saying Keith will lose, which I don't believe. It's an opinion. We're here to debate it. You guys just take it so personally because, you guys are butthurt. You're afraid of the truth, what's inevitable. It's elementary. You know what's going to happen. So every day you're afraid, just like the Crawford fans. They don't want to send Keith an offer. Why? We don't want that smoke. We want Amir Khan, Jose Benavidez, Jeff, who the fuck are you, Horn? Like, don't send a real champ and real offer. We'll send champs offers that they are going to refuse by sending disrespectful offers, $3 million flat fee offers, $15 million flat fee offers. That's how you don't get a fight. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why I got to teach people this normal shit, but you earned yourself 2 straight minutes. Way to do it, buddy. Cut it, cut it, cut it, cut it. Going out to Jose on a boomerang status. Talk to me.
Yo, I didn't boomerang in, but you know what? Let me ask or tell Javi, man. I'm gonna be in Vegas, man, live in Vegas. Turn on Broner, Team Broner, baby. Make the trip down, Javi, and let's do it, man. That's all I got. Peace.
He got way too much money in bets to put money on a flight now, baby. All right. Any other boomerangers out there? Press 1 now to get out of the queue, and one more time to get back in and let me know you're ready. We're going back for CK on a second chance. Sorry, CK coming for you. What up?
What's up, man? Hey, thank y'all, man. Happy New Year. Greatest boxing show on the damn net. Y'all know this. Ness, you a great man. You a great interviewer, man. And I went to LA for the fight, Ness, for Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder.
Man, we was out there deep. Man, we was out there deep.
Damn, I wish I could have met y'all, man. Hey, man, I respect what y'all doing, man. I am a huge fan of Don King. You right. He didn't, the longevity, he couldn't do it. But I still think he the king of promoters. Can you give him that? He just couldn't last. He got he's in his 80s,
I'll give him
man.
this. Listen, I'll give him this. He was the king of stacking cards. These promoters could learn from Don King and how he made a good undercard. It wasn't just a good main event.
I'll give him this. He was the king of robbing money. That's what I'll give him.
Well, when we, this is what we do, man. Don't join the mob and then scream about robberies. I don't even believe in robberies. I think Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury was a great fight, and I think that Wilder could have got it could have went either way. So I'm happy with a draw. But I really think that Wilder has to take this AJ fight next, because you can't risk losing to Fury, or you can't risk AJ losing. I think this is a must. He needs to take that fight in April, Ness, immediately. Yes, sir.
Hey, bro. Look, man, I've said it time and time again. I'm riding with Wilder. CK, thanks for calling in. I'm riding with Wilder in the sense that if he wants the rematch with Fury, well, then that's what I want to see him get. But my opinion is and always will be, before the Fury fight, it always was Joshua first. He's the easier fight. Get him, rule the division, fight everyone else as the B side to your A side. I think Joshua's always been the easier fight. I always said Fury getting on those toes and bouncing the way that he does. No other heavyweight besides Ali can be that light on their feet. And I'm in no way comparing Fury to Ali, but unfortunately, show me another heavyweight that we could compare Fury to. You know,
Y'all ain't never had a challenge that motherfucker say y'all can overtake, and y'all did.
I have no clue what you're saying, man. What
y'all never had a challenge that people say y'all couldn't overtake.
So okay, what does that mean? That's why Deontay wants the Fury?
That's why he wants the rematch. He wants to shut everybody up, man. It's not about chasing and wanna chase the big payday or risks scared of losing. Evidently, the man is not scared of fucking losing. He's going after the tougher fucking fight. He wants Fury. He thinks Fury is one of the top two best heavyweights in the division, along with himself. That's what he's going to do.
We got to cut out pretty soon because Mike got a scheduled interview with his boy Conor Ben today. I don't know. Did you check that out, Mr. Michael? I'm always late. Gross going out to Mike's bully R&V. R&V in the New Orleans on a boomerang status. Unmute on Skype. Let's go.
My bad. Hey, Mario, can you repeat once again? Who is the greatest fighter of 2018? Can you repeat yourself? I just want to hear you say it.
He actually dropped off. He dropped off.
Oh, you dropped. It's cool. But nah, man, Mike, this is the whole reason why I love this article so much. Because once again, the perception is starting to get stronger and stronger that AJ is ducking. That's why we don't say, yeah, Dillian Whyte's okay. No, we want the smoke high and high and high and high and high and higher to the point where nobody will even want to watch AJ fights no more. And then he gonna have to fight Deontay Wilder in America, and that's gonna be so beautiful. Because that knockout, that show, when he knock him out next, I want to at least, I'm gonna boomerang myself for a full week on just laughing at all these UK callers. I'll holla at you.
Well, all right. Thanks for calling in, R&V. We going down the line. We got Amin on the check-in boomerang status. Go.
Drive by.
All right. We're going to JD. Boomeranging back in. Go.
Yo, I'll be real quick, man. Yo, shout out to the I forgot to shout out the interviewer. I don't know his name, but he did say shit straight about the snack shit, right?
What, today?
But yeah.
On our show?
Like all the questions.
No, we the interviewers. He's the interviewee. So he's the subject or the interviewee. But yeah, you're talking about Stephen Edwards, the trainer of Julian Williams.
Why you let him slide, man?
Yeah. Just in
because
case
for the listeners, Mike,
I don't. Yeah. Just in case he's still listening, not a lot of people bringing him up, but I did want to shout him out because he did set some shit straight about snack. You know what I mean? Like he basically said, like, damn, we got like 150 fighters that's not involved in no bullshit. You know what I mean? But anyway, Mike, I did want to come to you real quick because I think yesterday I heard you saying something about Brazil being a good fight for Dillian Whyte. Am I right?
Well, Brazil is saying he'll be a good fight for Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte wants Brazil. He made a case why Brazil's a good fight and a pay-per-view worthy fight.
No, but I think Mike was advocating for Brazil.
I think it's a bigger fight. It's a bigger fight than the Ortiz fight. Probably can sell more pay-per-views because they have the back and forth.
Yeah, that's what I thought I heard. Anyway, do you think Brazil would beat Ortiz?
Cut it.
Nah, I don't think Brazil would beat Ortiz.
All right, we're going to Rafi in the UK.
Yes. Lots of shit to get through in a short space of time. Right. Breadman, good interview. He was right on the money. Teaching the USA sheep a lot of things. AJ is numero uno. Numero uno. That means number one to dumb fuckers. Right. Next. Anybody, I don't take advice, boxing advice, from a video game writer. The guy you're quoting is a video game writer. I don't take boxing advice from those guys.
Rafi, can I stop you there? And you know you're gonna get more time. Rafi, it's already out the bag on the Patreon show. Rafi is one of our top prospects to be our UK host. So
I'm setting my shit up. Okay, man, making sure my shit is correct. I don't want to go off half cocked.
No
it's
problem.
Not a good look.
No problem. So listen, this is what I'll say to counter that whole I don't take advice from a video game guy, right? Well,
yeah.
I think that we shouldn't take that stand simply because you're here. You talk boxing here. You take, some of your news from here. We have interviews here that get scheduled and conducted, and news gets broken here. And guess what? I mean, I can be called many things. Maybe not a video game expert, but many other things, right? So I don't think it's fair. That man worked himself up to be a writer for Forbes magazine. Who knows how much he's being paid? Who knows what sort of accolade he has that in his life to be? Mario is a writer. He went to school, he majored in English. He hasn't written for Forbes. I'm pretty sure he would take it as an accolade to write for Forbes magazine. Just saying. Just the same way that me, coming from my humble beginning, would be ecstatic to be nominated by BWAs or the Ring for whatever award I can win or any contribution I can give to their website, even mention that they give me. So I think it's unfair to say that. He worked his way up there. For some reason, they're accepting his articles and posting them.
Yeah, okay. Well, for me to take a man seriously, really, I need to know something about his resume. Yeah? Now, you, I presume, was no stranger to the boxing gyms in your youth. Am I correct?
Very incorrect. I mean, I went to the gym, but nothing like the way that I do as an adult. So,
Okay. Well, all right. Well, we'll move on to the next point. Basically, what I'm saying from my point of view, I was no stranger to the boxing gym growing up. You understand? So, and my friends, many of my friends are boxers. One of my friends is a ex-British champion. So that's my background. That's my resume. So I'm speaking from a place of knowledge, experience. So that guy is going to have to show me his resume to tell me where his points of references are. Moving on quickly. Any man who's asking AJ for 50% is clearly a man who doesn't believe he can win. Since when did the B-sides get so fucking entitled that they feel they can ask the A-side or demand from the A-side 50%? Any man who's asking the champion for 50% is nothing but a raving buffoon who doesn't feel he can win. What are the points? Yeah, you know what? I can't think of anything else. Those are the points I want to make.
Well, all right, Rafi, as always, thanks for calling in. We're going to listen. Joel, send me a message if you want some gig back. Any of my mastermind and boomerangers, send me a message. We got Noah, Cali. Noah, what up? You good over there?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Yeah, I'm on the phone right now. Yeah, I'm good, man. I had to scrape this bum earlier, man. The nigga was trying to break in my car, cuz.
Oh.
I knew it, my nigga. I said somebody either breaking in his car or somebody owed him some goddamn money.
Man, I had to beat the shit out of this little bum, man. Look, had me out here looking like bum fights, nigga. Looking at him with some flip-flops in the rain, nigga. You know what it's like trying to fight in the rain? Hey, but anyway, back to my call, cuz. Javi, he made some great points right now. Like just as far as like arguing the point. But one thing that kind of irritates me is that he never wants to acknowledge the disrespect and the games that they've been playing. Like Joshua, he knows Joshua didn't want that fight at the time, which is no problem with that. Well, come out and say that, brother. Come out and say that. And when you do, what it's going to do is it's going to knock off all that little shiny armor that you got, because what you're doing is you're walking around a fraud. You got all the belts. You're supposed to be the baddest man on the planet. You are. You asked for $50 million. You didn't take it. They never want to talk about none of these points, but then they want to make it seem like Wilder's insane. Bro, if you disrespect me, bro, there has to be some kind of ramifications or repercussions for that. You don't disrespect a man in front of the world and then expect him to come back and eat something out this dog bowl. Man, get out of here, man. That's my call, man. I got to go put some iodine on all these little scrapes and cuts because I'm too old to be out here fighting. But, yeah, man, TBV for life.
Noah, man. Shout out to Noah, man. And no, you want that get back? Let me know, man. You got to press 1, get out, and get back in. We're going to Stunner in New Jersey.
Yo, what's good, TBV?
What up?
Y'all hear me?
Yep.
All right. Honestly, I think we're reaching the point where I think we're gonna have to really reevaluate who's the A side between Joshua and Wilder. Because I mean, over the last couple of weeks,
Come on, man. Come on, bro. What you mean reevaluate, bro?
Whoa. Wait, listen. Wait, just hear me out. So,
Are you on
I think
speaker?
last
First
week,
of all,
Frank
you sound
Warren-
far, Stunner. Come on. Trying to rock out with your new little
Hold on.
Christmas present Bluetooth. Yo, y'all gotta buy Apple products or some Bose products or at least Beats. Beats on the lower end. I'm telling y'all, man, they be faking it.
Yo, Ness, I got these headphones in your hood. I was in Newark the other day.
Oh, that's the worst place to buy them. You don't want to buy no headphones in the hood. But go ahead. I'm restarting this clock. Go for it.
All right, so hear me out. So last week, Frank Warren and Richard Schaefer, who's not a promoter of Wilder or anybody, each of them came out and said that Wilder and Fury accumulated enough wealth in that fight that they earned more than any single Joshua fight, which includes, Klitschko versus Joshua. So as far as who can make the more money in one fight, that's Wilder. Now, 2, as far as the A side, the U.S. and UK have each had to pay over $25 for a Deontay Wilder fight. But what is the most any American has ever paid for an Anthony Joshua fight up until this day? Because I can tell you right now, I've never paid for an Anthony Joshua fight.
To this day.
Have you?
Never. Showtime freebie.
Okay. 3. In terms of being the A side, I mean, Joshua doesn't talk. He doesn't do anything that really, advertise the fight. So, I mean,
Canelo doesn't talk.
What?
No one knows him. Speaks no English.
Okay, but here's the thing. Canelo has been fighting in America. Joshua has never once fought in America. So, again, what is it that he's bringing to the table? He's not bringing U.S. pay-per-view buys. We already know that UK people, over 700,000 UK people, that's paid $25 to see Wilder and Fury. And consider this: if Joshua foregoes, he decides not to fight White and decides to fight Miller in New York, the fight's most likely going to be on the zone, right?
I mean, if Miller fights and Joshua, yeah, it's gonna be on the zone, of course. Should be.
All right, so on his
But
US
then
debut,
again, we seen Dillian Whyte on Showtime. Remember, officially, technically, last words we know, Joshua had a 1-fight deal for the Povetkin fight. 1 fight. So we just don't know where his next fight is going to be at.
Oh, let's consider it's a 1-fight deal, right? And let's say that because he just fought Povetkin, he's free to fight on any network, and he's going to fight Jarrell Miller. Jarrell Miller is a DAZN fighter. And I'd imagine with all the pressure,
Jarrell also isn't a DAZN fighter. His 2-fight deal was up with the Bagdon-Dinu fight. This is what I'm saying. This could be being shopped. Joshua versus anyone could be being shopped right now. And Stunner, you got way over the time, and I got hella people jumping in. Looks like NO wanted to get back in. NO, talk to me on the Boomerang Goat.
Yeah, look, man, bro. Soon, bro, these fights gotta happen soon, bro, because all these motherfucking trap fights that's going down, bro. I'm telling you, bro, I'm looking at this shit. Then heard about this fight. He about to fight, man, Julian Ready, bro. Man, I'm doing the same, bro. It's the same thing with the heavyweights, man. They gonna mess around and lose, bro, and mess up all that damn money, bro. You know what I'm saying? Man, Wilder and them got to fight, bro. Heard tripping, he should have took the challenge fight. And keep thinking about the man, I don't know, bro. That's my call, bro. That's my call. What do you think, bro?
All right. Damn, we had a crash on Skype, so I don't know who was left, but it is what it is. What we got for you tomorrow at 2:30 UK time, 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central, 6:30 West Coast. we have Anthony Fowler, the UK super middleweight.
No. Super welterweight.
No, he's not. He's super middleweight.
I thought he was at 154.
You sound like a 154, but you're
my bad.
Weirdo. Yo, why you don't ever get mad when I call you names? Everybody also always get mad, right? Because you tough skinned, or it's just why?
I mean, I don't really like pay you that much attention, and I don't put much stock in like what you say that much because you a fanboy.
Oh shit! So you don't put stock into my boxing talk?
Oh, I was right, baby. Super welterweight. How you not gonna know that shit, man?
Really? So he's June. So he was 54?
Yes, I believe he's 54.
Dang. Good thing we found out today.
You're gonna be in a fucking tomorrow. Who you gonna fight? Would you fight Rocky Fielder next, nigga?
Hey, listen, better I did it on the show than the way Mike be doing it, right? Mike be doing it live, like blah 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 blah. Don't say what was that. The last one, he's like, bruh,
who?
I fight at 130.
Who?
With Shakur, remember?
What that mean?
You was trying to put him in another division.
But we heard the B-Hop. Didn't his last fight was at 130, right?
B-Hop is at 130.
Oh yeah, but Shakur fights at 126, and he said he's staying there.
Exactly. And you was trying to size him up with little B-Hop, and he like,
I mean, they were sparring though.
Nah, it don't matter.
I was just asking him a question.
You're supposed to spar with bigger people, not fight bigger people in the ring.
I was just asking, like, down the road, would that be?
Pants on fire.
All right.
Nah, I'm fucking with you.
I'm glad you ain't cut his man super fucking middleweight to tomorrow.
We gonna get Vladimir Klitschko's trainer on the show pretty soon too.
Talking about what's his name?
Jonathan Banks.
Yeah, Crunk Jam.
Jonathan Banks, he'll be on the show. Anthony Fowler will be on the show. Yo, I swear to God, I think we got Mike Basil scheduled for today. I forgot to double check that shit.
Mike Basil.
Yeah, from Snacky. From the
from Snack Facility. Okay.
Yeah, Coach Mike Basil, baby. Basil Strength or something like that is called. But yeah, I'm your host, Nestor Gibbs. Oh, we also going to be getting Damani Rock, the big heavyweight from the Philadelphia area on the show as well. So make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel right here at youtube.com/ThaBoxingVoice. Help us get to that 100,000. We're at 93,124, and we need your help to continue to grow. I am your host, Nestor Gibbs, Instagram and Twitter. Join us at 1 p.m. today on Patreon for our show Untitled, where we sit back and we talk a little bit of everything. Plus, we just got a whole bunch more. I mean, what did we just do the other day? There's a show, overtime show from Saturday that you can check out. There's Thursdays, Common Creeping Thursdays, the episodes that you can check out. Make sure you download the Patreon app if you want some extra TBV in your life. Download the absolutely free Patreon app and make sure you scroll when you go to TBV's page for all our exclusive content and catch us on our next episode, which could be today. So make sure you click that notification bell and get notified every time me and Mike go live. Peace.
IG, Twitter, Gross1911, Gross2312.
90 seconds.
A man of